you guys had a couple moves the last couple days, Jonathan Allen and then Logan Thomas. If you can just, why was it important to get those deals done before camp, and what does that signal to the team?
Well, I just think the biggest thing was there were contracts that we were working on at the end of OTAs and minicamp, and the things we wanted to get taken care of. I'm just glad it's out of the way. These are guys that we believe fit us going into the future. They give them some stability. I think it shows the other players that we most certainly are working to try and keep our own. That's how you build a team. You're able to sign those guys and keep those guys around. We were able to find Logan last year. He developed into the type of player we believe he has the ability to be, and we just feel very fortunate we can keep him around. As you know, Jonathan was a first-round draft pick, a guy that's had a tremendous impact on our football team, not just as a player but as a leader. So it was good to get him done.
And then one of the unfortunate storylines for this camp.
Ryan's mic's not on, right? Yeah, that's not on.
Can you hear me now? Check it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You got me now? How about now?
I got the recorder, but I think it's coming through that. Yeah. Can you swap those?
You got this one?
Yeah, that's that off.
Make sure. Just ask the question without mic.
All right, so one of the unfortunate storylines remains the vaccine, COVID, and all that. And there was a lot of talk about your team back in minicamp, about how you guys have or haven't gotten it. I'm just curious where that's at right now.
Well, we're hopefully trending in the right direction. We've had a few more guys get theirs. I believe we're over 50%. So we're trending in the right direction. We're not where we want to be, obviously. We have a lot of guys that have a lot of questions, unfortunately. They haven't gotten the answers that they should have by now. And we need to do a job of trying to make sure we can inform them and help them make an educated decision. Yeah, I think it's frustrating, especially in the fact that last year we were the #1 team against COVID. Our players took the challenge of staying, inside the bubble, doing the things the right way. And for the most part, we only had 2 situations. Both of them were guys that were not on the active 53. So it turned out to be a positive for us as far as, being COVID-free. And now, for whatever reason, we have some reluctance to do that, to get the vaccine. And these young men have to make the decisions for themselves, but I think hopefully they can understand just how impactful not getting the vaccine is. And you'd like to believe, with all the news that's been out there in terms of the fact that people that are being hospitalized, that are dying from COVID right now, are those that aren't vaccinated.
Sam, then Phillips. Ron, is there any explanations to the maybe why this team is not behind league average, or is it just a circumstance?
I think it's a circumstance. I think we have a group of young guys that, want more information. And the frustrating part is, we're trying to provide it as quickly and as much as possible. Make their own decisions. Well, we're the rules, the example is set by the NFLPA and the NFL, and we'll go from there.
Can you share with us what it's like working with her, and for folks who don't know what that relationship is?
I really only had one opportunity to sit down with Mrs. Snyder. That was last Wednesday. She was in the office working on some of the stuff that they've mapped out. But it was good to see her in there. We had a nice conversation, about the stuff that's being worked on right now for the team. I know this. She's very bright, very intelligent, sharp woman. She knows exactly, what's going on, and it's cool. I mean, it really is. It just, it's kind of neat seeing her in there working.
And then I believe this is your first time here at the facility being operational. What are your,
Well, this is the second time I've been here. First time I came and I toured it about 16 months ago. I think it was 17 months ago, a couple Februarys ago. It's a nice setup. It looks like it has everything that can accommodate what we need.
Hey, Ron, last year, obviously, on and on, getting the message you wanted to play. Not my ideal circumstances to set the tone. What do you think is going to be different this time with things a little bit closer to normal?
Well, I think that's it. It's just we'll be a little bit closer to normal. But I have some ideas and some thoughts as far as what the messaging the first couple weeks. You get a sense. I feel I will, and from that I'll react to it, and we'll go.
One fewer preseason game, there's also the 17-game schedule. Does any of that change a basic training camp plan you would have normally? Does that kind of alter anything for you?
Doesn't alter anything. What we'll do is, we're going to take advantage of the opportunity to practice. I'm pretty excited about that. We get one less game, obviously, but we can still accomplish what we need to, I think, in those three. And so I'm looking forward to the extra week where we just really focus on us, and we'll have to take advantage of that because that extra week, I think, will be really good.
JP? Hey, Ron, a little football for you. Conditioning tests today, any players going to pup lists? Is everybody coming to the 90? Any news on that front?
Yeah, all that'll be coming out afterwards. That way I don't have to answer the question about how everybody did on the test.
I'm shocked you've done it that way. Last year you talked about maybe making a mistake with letting Haskins get all the first team reps. Going forward, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Taylor Heineke, Kyle Allen, do you think Fitz is going to get all that first team work, or how will it shake out?
No, the intent is to find the best combination of players to put them on the field. We'll make sure everybody gets reps. We'll make sure that we get a chance to really truly evaluate. Based on what happened last year, I made a decision to do what I did, and I'm not sure if that was the best decision. I wanted to try and get Dwayne as many reps as possible, give him every opportunity to develop within the scheme. I know it was a new scheme, and he really didn't have the type of offseason you would like, but I just thought that would be something that was right for us, and it didn't work. So this year, it's going to be pretty much normal in terms of competition.
We go Darren and Scott.
Hey, Ron, how would you describe this moment now being start training camp with things looking a little bit normal with the fans coming tomorrow and stuff like that?
Darren, I think it's cool. I really do. It's an opportunity to really reach out and touch the fans. We'll practice. We'll practice hard. We'll try to give them a little bit of sampling of what we can be. It's not going to be padded until next week by the rules, but they'll get an opportunity to see some of the things that we've done, bringing some of the players we've brought in, and it's really I've kind of figured that the best thing we can do with these 4 days is really kind of look at retention, see how many guys retain the things that we put in and installed. It'll be a good chance for us to gauge that and really kind of see what type of shape and conditioning they're in. So I look forward to that. But, as far as being here and being able to be close to the fans, I think that's a cool thing. It really is. We lost touch with them a little bit last year. I think to a degree, in all honesty, it was a little good that we didn't have the fans out early because we didn't play very well after the Eagles game. But, and it might have been discouraging to be booed. But I think as we started to gain momentum, started to play better, it would have been great to have the fans to create that momentum. I would have loved to see what it would have been like to play Tampa at home with a packed stadium. I really do in the playoffs. That would have been something that would have been special for our guys. So looking forward to having them back here at camp. And then once we start playing the preseason games and get into the regular season, I think it's going to be fun.
Ron, Steve, another vaccine question for you. Obviously, you want all of your players to get vaccinated, but you as their head coach, you can't force them. It's their
Right.
body. How do you find that balance of, saying, hey, we'd love for you to get vaccinated, but it's also
Right.
your choice?
Well, I think the big thing really is to have individual conversations, which is what my intent is, to sit down and talk with each guy individually. and try and get a feel. And again, you know, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. I'm going to try and understand them and give them some reasons, you know, why I think it would be a good thing. And we'll see how it goes. But I hope we can get to these guys, get them to understand really it's, you know, not just for them, but it's for the people around them. And that's the thing that I think hopefully, you know, will get their attention, is that it's not just about them, but the folks around them.
How much of a competitive disadvantage is it that you guys are just around that 50%, a little over, and not where that 85% threshold is?
Well, where it becomes a really disadvantage, I think, will come in terms of preparation. You know, if you got a guy that's going to miss out on 2 weeks of work, I think when you get into the regular season and you wake up Saturday morning and they come in and tell you that you've got 5 guys that can't play on Sunday, and it's your starting group, that's going to shake your team up. We saw what happened, unfortunately, to Denver last year. They had to start a wide receiver at quarterback. You don't want to be in that situation. We don't want to be in that situation. So it could be a huge, huge disadvantage. And the hard part too is you know, the thing they got to think about too is, you know, based on the rules, you're risking not just your paycheck but other people's paychecks too if there's no game played. So, you know, I think that's something that these, you know, that we all have to think about.
And a quick follow-up, because you just brought up a good point. Are you concerned about any tension within that locker room between vaccinated players and unvaccinated players because of, you just mentioned, that paycheck? If
Yeah.
they're taking money out of their family, food off their table, could that cause some tension or friction?
That could. I mean, who knows? I mean, what could happen? But we'd have to see. You know, again, it is everybody's choice, everybody's decision. But you just hope that you know, they all fall in line and understand what's at stake. And no, we're not there yet. We're not calling you up. Don't hit the sled anymore and get hurt.
I was working on that smooth move.
Yeah.
Nicky, then Aldridge.
You get all the players together for the first time in training camp. What is your general message to them?
Say it again.
As you get all the players together for the first time at the start of camp, what is your general message to them as they get to camp?
Well, I think the biggest thing more than anything else is, you know, it's go time. I mean, you know, that's going to be the big thing. I mean, there's a lot to talk about with these guys. You know, we had a meeting earlier today, but it was all administrative. We'll meet again later on today, and we'll talk a little bit more in depth as to the things that, you know, what our goals are, what our intent is, and what we're trying to get out of camp.
And with all the vaccines, do you guys have to do anything that made you vaccinated and who's not?
Now, we're not going to put anything out there as far as who's not vaccinated. You know, I think the important thing is we know who isn't vaccinated, and we'll leave it at that.
Banging on the vaccine thing, but you've got this balance between individual freedom and decide what you want, but you also have a team that has some potential.
Yep.
And how do you weigh those two things when you talk to the guys? Like, yes, it's your body, but here's 53 other guys,
Yep.
a large portion of which have gotten vaccinated because it helps everybody.
Yep, and I think that's the thing that you hopefully can get to these guys and get them to understand just how important it is. You know, when you have that many guys that are doing the things that, you know, that can help and benefit, I think that has to be considered. It truly does. You know, we're you know, this is one of those, you know, very careful things, and we'll see.
Follow up. I know everybody's individual, but are you at all perplexed? You
Yeah, I am. I'm truly frustrated. I'm beyond frustrated. You know, and part of it is, and the reason I walked in with the mask on is, you know, I'm immune deficient. Okay, so with this new variant, who knows? So when I'm in a group and the group's not vaccinated or there's a mixture, I put the mask on. And I do that, you know, for health reasons, because nobody really knows. And so I'm, you know, I have to do that. And I just wish and I hope that our guys can understand that.
You got time for 2 more? You go Rhiannon and back left.
I know you talked about the
No, and it's very important that the guys, the backups, develop like they did last year and continue to get better and better. The nice thing is, because of the situation we're in, the league has pretty much instilled a lot of the protocols that we had last year, and then a lot of the rules as far as your practice squad, the ability to elevate players, the ability to put players on IR short term. So those are things that are going to help us. But again, you still don't want to get into a situation where you wipe out a position, because then you really truly put yourself in a bad spot. And I hope we understand that. I hope we can realize that as we go forward.
Last one.
Coach, you talked about the normalcy now, closer to normal with COVID, but from your own personal standpoint, last year at this time you were getting ready to start the new season with a new team. You had your own health concerns. How much more comfortable and does it feel from a personal standpoint entering this season?
I feel really good. I do. I'm very comfortable. I'm comfortable with where we are as a football team in terms of our players and our growth and development. We have some questions early on that I hope to get answered quickly. But the thing that still looms over our head, unfortunately, is the whole COVID situation. That's the one thing that's similar to last year. It's not as pressing initially, but it can be. And we have to figure that out, and we have to understand that. We do. As a football team, as individuals, we have to understand what's truly at stake in terms of opportunities going forward. And we'll see. We'll see how it all unfolds. And, to some degree, this tells us a little bit about us. We'll see.
Thanks, everybody.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.